Well, we won't even talk about what we were just talking about because we're going to talk about someone way more important and less gross, Susan Ebert. That's right. Welcome, Signature Studio Spotlight Series. Here we are underneath the spotlight in the studio here at Signature Real Estate Group on Los Alamos, Murrieta. And I am the bald guy in the red tie with Miss Susan Ebert. And today we have a very special guest under the spotlight because he shines oh so bright, Mr. Joe Rodriguez.
Woo! Crowd goes wild. Woohoo!
Do they call you J-Rod?
J-Rod.
Yeah?
Yep.
Is that because of A-Rod?
Yep.
Yeah. Or was that like all throughout your life?
No, ever since A-Rod came to the limelight, it was always J-Rod.
Oh my gosh, I've never
Always.
called you J-Rod. Now I'm going to have to do
I
that.
named my son Alexander, my 15-year-old.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
But
I
no
can
one-
hardly wait to
he
just
does-
say
I
that
don't think he
tomorrow
realizes
morning.
Who he is anyway.
Yeah.
Okay,
He's like,
good.
what, Dad?
Yeah.
It's like Babe Ruth. Huh?
Yeah.
Well, welcome to the studio, man.
Thank
You know,
Great to be
this
here.
this show's all about putting a spotlight on agents that do shine bright, and clearly you've had a stellar career, and you've been around a while, so you've had some good successes and some good trials that I'm sure we could
Sure
probably
have.
pull some lessons
Oh,
from. Those are always the good ones, right?
Yeah.
So let's get it kicked off with, how did you get started in real estate?
It started in 2000. Actually started, I used to work for a finance company in San Diego.
Mhm.
They went belly up, moved to Murrieta, and one of the guys we used to work with, his father-in-law was a broker in the business. And coming from the finance, got us in the mortgage business, and for 3 years we kind of worked without a license under him. And after the second year, he said, "You guys got to get your license. You guys are doing making too much money." So that's what we did. I think in 2002 or 2003, we got 4 of us got our licenses, and we opened up a shop. So up until market took a dive, but it was that's where we kept. My background was financing and mortgages, so we used to do about 3/4, about 75% mortgages and 25% real estate. So,
Very cool.
and here we are.
And what'd you do right after that?
After the market took a dive, we had a close-up office, and I got into the REO business.
Interesting, because you had those relationships with those
Yeah,
lenders and
or
stuff.
the broker at the end before, it was a different broker. He was recruited by the banks because he was an executive or a portfolio manager back in the late 80s. And he was recruited back by, I think it was Chase. And he's like, hey, forget the regular market. He's REOs is where it's at. And sure enough, he got me about a dozen relationships with different people because he had been in the industry prior to. And that's how I got my foot in the door. So it was solid for a good 3 years. And
Did you make good money?
made some decent money. I can't complain.
That was a weird time,
But
though, wasn't it?
It was. It was. Nobody wanted to. I mean, everybody stayed away from real estate, but it was fun for us. It kind of sucked for a lot of the agents that kind of went away. They went away, but it was my best time. Financially in my career. So I can't complain.
Well, I think you probably learned a lot through that.
Oh, I
too.
did. Yeah, there was
Yeah.
a lot. A lot of people don't realize how much more the risk to this real estate business other than just selling and buying real estate. There's a lot. Buying, bad paper to doing flips to, NODs. There's property management. God, there's so many, deed and lose. I mean, I
Yeah.
learned so much that whether it's a up market or down market, there's money to be made.
Yeah.
So,
And that's where, it seems like a lot of agents get pushed to the side when the market turns, whether it's up or down or whatever.
Yeah.
Because, I'm sure you saw this too. A lot of the REO agents, now that it switched back to a standard market, they had a challenge in doing it the traditional way
Oh,
and
yeah.
stuff, And likewise, I think when we see this next downturn, whatever that might be, I don't foresee it happening anytime soon, but at that point, it'll be interesting, all the fair weather agents, to see if they disappear,
I think that's what happens is a lot of the, they call them soccer moms, but
Yeah.
but a lot of the agents who were part time, they won't be able to sustain
Yeah.
in a slow market. So
So that's great that you have that experience.
yeah, I
Oh, he could still run the brokerage.
it's I don't do it. I'm not. I'm seeing a lot of millennials, a lot of the younger guys. I mean, they're killing it. And I was just talking to, God, I forget. Billy, how technology has driven, a lot of the younger agents to do a lot more volume, where I feel like I'm left behind. So I feel like I'm new to the game.
Yep.
So,
Yeah,
so I'm
you
here
just
to
said
learn.
it to me, yesterday? You're
Yeah.
like, yeah, they're kicking my butt.
Oh my God!
These guys
so
are getting
it's
me.
yeah.
Yeah.
So we're so used to the old school methods of you know working, but that's why I'm here and I'm learning every day. So
Well, and let's talk about Signature Real Estate Group here in Los Alamos in Marietta. Susan Ebert. It's an ongoing joke. Signature Real Estate Group attracts. When I look at our roster, it's so amazing. You got big REO heavy hitters such as Joe, such as Bob Cadez, such as the Harpers. You got some old school people like Troy that do the cold calling and that kind of thing. And then you got the whole new younger agents doing. I can't I'm kind of in the middle. I'm not the youngest, but I'm not the oldest. So I'm kind of I have a radio show is what I have here. But it's been fun for me to do. But it's so cool the collection of agents that we have here at Signature Real Estate Group. What have you been learning and kind of absorbing from this whole environment?
First, I think the social media aspect of real estate, staying with the times, has played a big role. The way you generate business. I mean, you still generate business the old school way, door knocking, whether it's cold calling. At the end of the day, you can go back to the basics, whether it's cold calling, door knocking, open houses. That's the free way of getting business. But you take it a step, further, and you're now, advertising through social media, whether you're doing, video content, you're staying relevant. And now the difference between today and the past is branding.
Yeah.
The branding aspect wasn't around. It was always, Century 21. It was Remax. So now we're now branding ourselves. So it's that's where I see the big difference. So.
And so, what do you see for 2020 for branding for J-Rod?
Joe
Rodriguez.
Oh my gosh.
Yes,
we have to do something with that.
It's funny because that's something I've been working on, and it's going to be completely different. So, like I said, I feel like I've been left behind, and I can't continue down that path.
Yeah.
So, I got some really, really hefty goals. So,
that's excellent.
And I plan on fulfilling them.
I'm excited.
So, maybe a team. I don't know. So, there's some things I got a budget. I got a pretty decent budget. So, I got to get aggressive. So I feel like if I do this way too late, I'm going to kick myself in the ass and say, you know what, I didn't take advantage when the getting was good. So,
yeah.
Yep.
That is true.
Yep. It is true. Take advantage of all these kids teaching us old folks how to do stuff. You're not an old folk, but
no, I am.
So have you always been a Southern California native?
Yes. I was born in L.A., raised in Central California, and been in San Diego since the mid '80s.
Very
so
cool.
I grew up in Escondido, San Marcos, moved out here in 2000, and seen this place grow before there was any traffic.
right?
Yeah. Welcome to the freeway.
Yeah.
The 15 parking lot.
What the Winchester Road parking lot,
Ugh.
Inez parking lot.
Ugh.
They're all parking lots.
Yeah. So you're married with kids?
Yes, I have 3 kids. I have a 15-year-old, 7, and a 6. She'll be 6 next week. So all in sports, which keeps me and my wife busy, and all of them play double sports. So that's
Doubly busy.
Yeah.
Jeez, man.
Both of my boys play travel ball, so it's on weekends. It's one of those. It's tough. If they have tournaments, my wife will take them, and I got to work. So.
Wow.
So I was a little distracted this year, with especially during the summer
Yeah.
with travel. So I gotta focus.
I don't know if I'd call that distracted. I might call it proper priorities.
Yeah.
Being with your kids and raising your family, that
It
thing.
is, and I don't
Yeah.
want to miss out, but I think I took it. I wasn't missing, just because I was, my little one made it to the championship, so it's I had to be there every week, and so it did take away a little bit from business, but.
So your little one went to the
Yeah.
championships. There's no amount of money.
Oh, you closed 10 escrows? That's great, but my kid's a champion, so what do you got to say?
That's right.
Money will be spent, but trophies last forever.
That's so true.
So how did you meet this lovely young lady next to you?
Well, I had taken about a year off. I was still doing flips, basically, what was kind of keeping me, still in the business after the REO market kind of, slowed down. There was moratoriums, and got a little burned out because I was trying to get, back in the regular market, which still was a little stale. The flips were kind of really competitive with a lot of the deeper pockets. So took about a year off and saw the market coming back. So it was either between I was going to go. I noticed Adam was doing very well and the forces. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to see who's hiring. I want to go with a company. I thought at the time Adam had his own office for some reason, but I didn't know because like I said had been a while. Yeah, exactly. But he had his name was out there.
Yeah.
So he had an ad. It was ironically had an ad out. He was hiring. So I talked to him and he was his team. So I had an interview with him at our old smaller space before coming here, and we were a good fit. So came on board. Was with him for about a year, and learned quite a bit from him as well. Even though we've been in the business about the same year, but he's obviously has a lot more volume experience. So here I am.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And then, so is that when you met Susan?
I met Susan. I'm like, you know what? I made the right choice. She, great camaraderie. So the masterminding, just it was a perfect fit. I tell my wife, I won't go anywhere.
What are some favorite Susanisms that you have?
Oh
wow.
Oh no.
She's got some good one-liners.
Yeah,
only the ones that you can say on the studio. For those who don't know, Susan is known for her little one-liners, and they've become almost like a cult classic. Like, I mean, you got some things that are like, oh, she just said that.
She's got a great sense of humor overall. You can't beat it. Like I said, I've worked around a lot of people. She's like her mom, and they said there was no other fit for me, other than being here with Susan. And, if I need help with something, Susan's always there. If you need to, be picked up in the morning, if you're having a bad day, you just talk to Susan for 5 minutes and you're.
Whether you want to or not, because sometimes like those pity parties are kind of fun to just have a one-man pity party kind of thing. But she doesn't let. She's like, no, what are you doing? No, that's not you. Snap out of it.
We don't have time for that.
Yeah.
We got work to do. We got goals to accomplish.
Yeah.
I'm kind of like the scary mom though. Maybe a little crazy.
No, it's great to be around Susan. I said, it's never a dull moment.
This is true. Very true.
I learn a lot from him.
Yeah.
Like the questions he asks are scenarios that then I'm smarter at the end of the day by hanging around him. So I love that he's here. And we do a morning mastermind, little accountability group, and all the people in the room get to learn from him because he is the smartest person in the room. The one thing, I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed, but I surround myself with sharp tools. And so I'm very thankful that I know that I'm not the smartest person in that room, but he is.
Yeah.
And he's all humble and kind about it, but the truth is that he knows a way, way more than I have ever even learned. Yeah.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Thank you. That means a lot.
No, it's true.
I think it's my age.
Well, you've been around the block a couple times,
I've had my fair share of different scenarios and situations, but you learn from it. And like I said, you're learning every day.
Yeah.
There's always a different issue or situation that will arise, and that's when I call Susan.
Well, and I have a benefit because I get to hear everybody's, and so like I'm on steroids in problem solving.
Right.
You know what I mean? Where you're going to close 30 deals this year, 50 deals this year. I got to talk about 1,000 deals this year.
Right.
So that clause on the RPA, I might have memorized. Do you know what I mean? Because I've seen it so many times. So I have that skill set, but he has all of the rest. Yeah. I only have one little piece.
Well, and I think this kind of goes to that major theme that everybody talks about on the show, being here at Signature, is that there's that sense of synergy, that sense of collaboration, with all these experiences, because we have a lot of producing agents, right? I mean, there's a lot of people that are, pushing that 100 transaction deal a year mark. And so, like you said, you're talking about 1,000 transactions that you're personally, navigating.
Yeah.
And so all of this knowledge keeps spilling over into the office, and I think it just lifts everybody up.
It does.
Yeah. I also don't pretend I know everything, and I call the legal hotline when I need help.
They know you well there, I'm sure. Oh, hi, Susan.
Oh, they do.
Yeah.
And what better broker than be able to have that kind of experience with that kind of volume?
Yeah.
I feel like I'm blessed. Hey, wait, I want to know how you met your wife and how you proposed.
Oh.
Because his wife is adorable.
Yeah.
Yes.
I met my wife through Renee Killing. And Renee Killing was one of my lender reps at the time. for a few years. And she kept telling me about her friend. She's like, you got to meet my friend. At the time, I was I was single. So you got to meet this girl, blah, blah, blah. So for a year, she kept telling me, you got to meet my friend. And they were roommates. So I would see Renee probably on a daily basis. And still, for some reason, we'd always miss, I'd miss her friend. So finally, I got to meet her, and, we hit it off. We were a good fit. But how I proposed.
Do we not want to
No,
know?
no, no. It was actually, I got her an engagement ring. We went to Morton's, and I had called, letting them know it was an engagement, dinner. So they gave me a nice table. And I coming in, said I got to use the boys' room. So I gave the hostess the ring. Said dessert, bring it on and put it on the plate. So and asked, and they wrote in, with chocolate syrup, will you marry me? So that's how it happened.
That's smooth, man.
Did
I'm about to lose this ring.
Did you say yes right away?
Yeah. After about 5
Aw.
minutes, she thought about it. But
She sent you a counter offer back?
yeah.
Sell her multiple counter offer?
Back to you.
Did she know it was coming?
No.
No,
No. I mean,
totally
she knew it was a
surprised?
time.
Yeah.
We had talked about it, but she didn't know that was going to be the moment.
So did you get on one knee, or did you just like sit
No,
across
no.
the table?
No, it was. I mean, it was. I traditionally, I guess I should have, but I think it all happened so fast that I was more worried about that ring making it to the table.
I was thinking about it because I work in restaurants in
Yeah.
the past, and so yeah, you're lucky it made it there. So
Yeah. So,
That's funny.
But yeah,
That's
no,
fun and
yeah.
romantic.
so that was my proposal.
Aww.
awesome, man.
How long have you been married?
10 years. It was 10 years this year. So
What'd you get
known
her
each other
for
11 years.
10-year anniversary?
actually, no, I take that back. Next year's our 10-year anniversary because
Oh.
we've been talking about our trip to. Oh God, she's gonna kill me.
don't worry, it's only been
You're
recorded.
taking her on a trip.
Yeah, no, she wants that
Sis-
10-year anniversary to.
The place where she wants to go.
It's the beach where they have this little huts. What do you? Oh my God, it's super expensive.
Maldive,
No.
Fiji,
Antigua,
No.
Bahamas.
like in Mexico,
No, it's in the
Caribbean,
Caribbean. I think it's in. Man.
South
she's-
Pacific.
Fiji.
She's gonna kill me. No.
Well, it was so important that
Yeah,
it just
it was very-
smashed your brain there. Yeah.
We're trying to guess every single tropical place.
Madagascar.
No. No. Jesus.
Okay, moving on.
Moving on to the next topic here. No awkwardness at all.
Yeah.
What was she wearing? When-
Yeah, yeah.
Let's give him a harder question.
Oh, man.
Oh.
Wow. So here we are coming up at the end of a decade, not just the end of a year, but the end of a decade. So in 2020 starts a whole new decade. You want to start a team. You want to rebrand. You want to do some social media. And what do you think all of that will add up to over the next couple of years? What do you see?
Well, I envision success. Like I said, being here, I think it will catapult me to that point. Like I said, a lot of the camaraderie here. Like I said, I'm learning every day. So I'm seeing some of the other younger guys who are, they're doing very well. So I don't see why it shouldn't work. I just gotta. There's some accountability, issues I've had in the past, and that's why I joined the accountability class. So I think moving forward, that I think having a team will definitely keep me accountable, and I'll continue doing the accountability class. So I think that's my biggest, and being busy with the little ones. But next year, not that I'm using that as an excuse, but my little ones to go full time to school.
That's good.
Next year, so I should be okay.
Yeah.
It'll be fun. We
Yeah.
started the accountability group, and they have to say what it is they're going to do today, and then the next day, it's $20 for each task that they say, that they were going to do if you didn't do it. And so I'm like, we're either going to get some productive people, or we're going to create a bunch of liars.
Yeah, right?
What are we creating here? But he takes the lead. Do you know what I mean? Because he's doing stuff. But I always do notice at the end of it, because this is our cycle out. We have 2 weeks left, and then we'll start again next year in mid-January. And the task list gets smaller. 75 calls. Oh, from 300 to 75 now, huh? Ramping up for next year? Oh, but he's a good leader and making sure he's being consistent in everything that he's doing.
It just, not that it's holidays, you get in that mentality, even though you try
Yeah.
not to, that's the last thing you want to do. You want
Yeah.
to be, the complete opposite,
Yeah.
but it's just hard not to follow
Yeah.
that. So,
Yeah.
don't.
I only do it so I'll show up.
Oh, yeah.
All I do is I got nothing going on. I
But-
just sleep in.
God willing, next year will be like night and day compared to this year, because this year was a little, my numbers, I didn't hit my goals.
Sure.
So, I do plan on hitting those goals, and I'm going to stay accountable to Susan.
She'll make something happen.
Oh, yeah.
It'll be entertaining nonetheless.
The fees are going up.
Yeah. That's so cool. Well, it's been great being in the office with you. You always have that sunny disposition. You're
Thank
always
you.
got a smile on your face, and it sounds like a minor thing, but you walk into some real estate offices and it looks like people are about to jump off the roof. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, geez, how's it
Yeah.
going here?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you really add to that vibe here, and
Thank you.
you're appreciated. And any final thoughts you'd like to share?
I just want to thank you for being here because you make me look good.
Oh.
And I really don't ever want to surround myself with people that aren't smarter than me. And so thank you for investing just in us in this office and being here and staying and teaching and training and mentoring
Thank
people. It
you.
means the world to me.
And
Thank you for the
Likewise.
collaboration
So thank you.
and the spirit. You're truly one of a kind.
Thank you.
Successful entrepreneur, leader, and now that I know that you're going to do a team, Mama Bear might, step up the game of accountability with you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because you really should be doing that. I don't know why you're not
Yeah.
a team lead right now.
Well, I think because of, again, my kids weren't going to school full time,
Yeah.
so that has kind of held me back because I'm the one that takes them, gets them ready in the morning. So not being able to give it 110%, on a daily basis, has kind of held me back a little bit. So, but now that this coming year, be
Yeah.
full time, so
So
it's gonna be completely different.
J-Rod is hiring.
You want to be on
Not
J-Rod's
hiring.
successful
We're
team.
going to do some interviews here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've already
push
talked to a
that
couple people,
direction.
so like I said, I'm getting geared up, and I'm
awesome.
excited.
Good.
Right on.
Good.
Well, thank you for being part of this office. Thank you for being who you are, and I think whoever does join your team is lucky to have you
Thank
as
you.
a team lead there. So if you are looking to join a team, make sure you reach out to J-Rod, Mr. Joe Rodriguez, here at Signature Real Estate Group on Los Alamos and Murrieta. That's it for this episode.
Wait, I have one more question.
Okay.
Who's your favorite football team?
Dallas Cowboys.
Oh, it is?
Yes, ma'am.
The cheerleaders or the Cowboys?
Oh, well, cheerleaders first and foremost.
Okay, wait, what's your favorite color?
Blue,
Okay, what is your favorite place to travel?
Cancun, Mexico.
Is that where you're going?
No.
I was just checking.
Jedi mind trick.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
I was hoping. Okay, sorry.
And that concludes this episode of the Signature Studio Spotlight Series with Mr. Joe Rodriguez, Miss Susan Ebert, and John Butler, the bald guy in the red tie, saying see you in escrow. Bye.